muli tayo dito sa Talk Ed Early Childhood Series. Ako pa rin po ang inyong host for Talk Ed, si Bianca Gonzalez. And for this episode, susubukan natin, okay, ang keyword dyan ay susubukan nating intindihin ang pinanggagalingan ng challenging behaviors ng ating mga anak. And syempre, most importantly, paano natin i-handle yung ganito mga pagkakataon bilang magulang, bilang adults, para matulungan din sila to self-regulate, diba? Or yung para matutunan nila kung paano i-handle yung mga napakalaking emotions, okay? So, ipapakilala ko na ang ating Talk Ed expert for today. She's currently a faculty and the chair of the Early Childhood Program of Miriam College. She has a master's in designing education and on basic education, specializing in preschool education. So specialty niya talaga tong Talk Ed, itong ECD o Early Childhood Development. Let us all welcome Miss Marie Rose Yuzon. Hello, Teacher Maros.
Hi, Bianca. Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here on Talk Ed. I'm really happy to be here.
I read a bit of your bio kanina, Teacher Maros, but I just want to ask, gaano na po kayo katagal in the field of early childhood education?
Okay. How long? I started as a preschool teacher at the Miriam College Child Study Center. So I taught 5 and then 4-year-old kids and then 3-year-old children also. I moved on to do administrative work. And then after a number of years, moved to the college. So I'm now with the Department of Education of Miriam College, teaching, training, and forming young women to be teachers. How long? 34 years, more than half of my life has been spent really with young children and now forming young women to be future teachers of young children.
Grabe, amazing. You are not just forming the next generation, but you are giving it back, paying it forward, training the next generation. Grabe, this is really your calling, I would say, Teacher Maros, no? For you to be 34 years in this industry, kumbaga. And this early childhood, Teacher Maros, is very interesting kasi for the longest time, parang ang focus talaga ay grade school, and then high school, and then college. Parang itong 0 to 8, 0 to 5 years old, hindi masyadong nabibigyang pansin. Pero sa realidad, super important.
Yes, super important. Especially with brain research now that says ito yung critical na age from 0 to 8 talaga. And there's so much we can do so that we can really help them become good citizens and good human beings, diba? So very critical, hindi dapat pabayaan yung mga bata sa ganitong edad.
Yes, kaya naman thank you for joining us today dahil ang dami naming matututunan sa iyo and sa isang napaka-hot topic pa, Teacher Maros. So dito po sa Talk Ed, Teacher Maros, we usually share a story of someone and then hihimayin natin itong issue na to. So at this point, gusto natin i-share ang kwento ni Teacher Jasmine sa ating mga bata, sa ating mga parents or sa ating mga adults kapag dealing with a kid na may medyo challenging behavior. Eto, let's watch the story of Teacher Jasmine.
Pag yung mga bata minsan nagmi-misbehave, mahirap eh. Dati, nung sa face-to-face setup pa, whenever nagtatantrum sila, hahayaan ko lang, Miha, this is my personal style as a teacher. So, hahayaan ko lang na ilabas niya kung ano man yung feelings niya. Kung naiiyak siya, hahayaan ko lang siyang umiyak. Kasi the more na stop crying, gaganunin mo sila, lalo silang umiiyak. So, hahayaan ko lang. Pag nailabas na niya, pag okay na siya, tumigil na siya, saka ko siya kakausapin at pag-uusapan namin kung ano yung nangyari. Saka ko i-resolve kung ano yung issue. Sa online naman, actually ganun din. Sasabihin ko na lang na, this student is not yet ready. Let me know if you're ready, then I'll call you. So, So, gano'n na lang yung ginagawa natin. Pero, less naman sa experience ko, less sila na nagtatantrums when it comes sa online. Since the reason nga, it's because nandun sila sa house nila. So, mas familiar sila sa environment kesa sa school.
Ayan, si Teacher Jasmine na kapag gustong umiyak ng bata, hinahayaan lang niya. And then kapag medyo tumigil na yung iyak, sa kanya kakausapin. So you mentioned this earlier, Teacher Maros. Isa sa mga pinaka-common talaga, itong tantrums. Naku, parang halos everyday ko ito nakikita. Pero, yeah, tantrums. Can you share with us, Teacher Maros, ano ba yung pinanggagalingan nito?
Okay. So, ang tantrums is just one of the challenging behaviors, di ba? And when you talk about challenging behaviors, hindi mo yan hinihiwalay sa konteksto ng bata. Nasaan ba siya? Ano ba yung nararamdaman niya? Ano ba yung nasa paligid niya? Ano ba yung edad niya? So, hindi mo tinitignan lang na tantrum to, pero inuusisa mo, nasan ba nung bata? Ano ba yung nararamdaman niya? Baka nagugutom to or meron siyang hindi ma-express na gusto niyang sabihin. Kaya, yun ang paraan niya para masabi sa mommy niya o kay teacher na, sandali, may nararamdaman ako. Kailangan ko ng tulong mo. Kailangan kong makinig ka sa akin. Pay attention to me because I have a problem. So, that's how you look at tantrums. You don't separate it and say, tantrum yan, challenging behavior yan, hindi tama yan. Pero intindihin mo muna. Ano nangyayari? Bakit nagtatantrum to? Pagpasok ba ng school? Baka naman tulog sa kotse, tapos ginising, no? Tapos pinasok na lang sa school. So talaga magugulat yung bata. Or baka naman gutom, nag-aantok, so nagtatantrums. So more often than not, especially for young children, yun yung mga kailangan mong malaman eh. Bakit? Anong pinagsimulan nito? And yes, wag mong sasabayan. Tama si teacher. Tabihan mo, tapos ipat mo sa likod just to comfort the child na okay lang. When you're done crying, then we can talk. Tapos ka na umiyak, sige, mag-usap tayo. So, both for teachers and for parents, no? Huwag mong sasabayan na umiiyak, nakikipag-usap ka kasi hindi ka pinakikinggan ng bata. Actually, ang feeling ng bata, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. So, huwag mong sasabayan. But make sure na you're beside the child just to comfort the child and say everything's okay. When you're finished crying, when you're finished with your tantrum, then mag-usap tayong dalawa. So yun yung iyak na tantrum. Iba din yung tantrum na nagtatapon, naghahagis. So iba rin yun. Primary thing to do is make sure hindi masaktan yung bata at hindi masaktan yung adult na kasama at more importantly, yung mga batang nakapaligid sa kanya. No? So you can take the child aside and stay with the child and say, it's okay. When you're ready, then pag-usapan natin to. So basically, yun ang ginagawa kapag tantrums. Huwag mong sasabayan, pakalmahin mo yung bata, take him away from the area kung saan pwede siya masaktan or makapanakit. And then, kapag nag-subside yan, madali na yung kausapin at malaman ano bang pinagsimulan nitong tantrum.
That is, Teacher Maros, assuming na yung tantrum ay parang umiiyak na parang pababa yung energy. Pero parang paano kung yung tantrum is parang pataas ng pataas yung energy, yung may, no, I don't, ganyan. Yung parang may laban effect. May kicking, not necessarily hurting, pero parang talagang hindi humuhupa yung iyak, lumalakas. What is that, Teacher Maros?
What is that? Ibig sabihin, sumisidhi or yung emotion na nararamdaman ng bata is escalating, no? Yes. Lalo siyang na-frustrate, lalo siyang nagagalit. And ang magagawa mo lang talaga is what's the Tagalog word? Pahapuin Or yung
Pahupain, yes.
pahupain, right. Thank you. Pahupain mo muna talaga. Hindi mo yan pwedeng sabayan. And yun nga, ang pinaka-importante is safe yung bata na maski na sumisigaw siya, kuminsan sa mall, di ba, nakikita mo nasa sahig, nagkakakawag yung bata, is make sure the child is safe. So itatabi mo talaga siya hanggang mag-subside. Pabababain mo talaga yung energy kasi bababa rin naman yung energy niyan. Hindi naman yan, mapapagod din yan. So you will just really have to wait it out. As you said, easier said than done, but best case scenario talaga, hahawakan mo siya, na hindi ka rin nasasaktan. There's a certain way na may hawak dyan, at hihintayin mo siyang kumalma. Okay, that's considering that things are normal, ha? Kasi iba rin kung may special case. If there's children with special needs or special children, there will be different ways also to handle this. But regularly, you will just wait until humupa at magkumalma yung bata.
Yes. I hear this often, Teacher Maros, and baka kayo din po, na parang parents usually parang sinusuway yung mga bata pag nagtatantrum kasi ang iniisip nating parents is, naku, baka masanay na kahit anong gusto, magtatantrum na lang or iiyak at sisigaw. Parang ganun. Yun ang I guess conditioning natin growing up, yung parang sinusuway or tinitigil kasi baka masanay. What is your take on that?
Masanay na kapag hindi niya nakuha yung gusto niya, magtatantrums na lang siya. Kaya mahalaga na kapag kumalma yung bata, kausapin mo. Hindi mo pwedeng pabayaan na nagtantrums tapos kalmado na, pabayaan mo lang. Tatanungin mo, bakit? Bakit ka umiyak o bakit ka nagalit? Anong gusto mo ba? Anong gusto mong gawin nating dalawa? Kapag may gusto ka, anong mas magandang gawin para maintindihan ko at mabigay ko yung gusto mo? So talking it out with children, no matter how young, will be very important. So hindi pwedeng, ito na yung ice cream para tumigil ka. Kasi kapag gano'n ang gagawin mo, at gusto ng bata ng ice cream sa susunod, malamang, yun din ang gagawin niya. Magtatantrums ulit siya. So medyo magpipigil ka ng konti at talagang kakausapin mo yung bata at tatanungin bakit ganito at tuturuan mo ng bagay-bagay na makakasabi siya kung ano talaga ang gusto niya. Diba? So sabihin mo, kapag sinabi mo sa akin ng maaga na ito pala yung gusto mo, pwede nating gawin, or baka hindi ngayon, sa susunod, pwede nating gawin. So sabi ko nga, no matter how young the child is, na nakukuha siya sa usap, nakikinig sila, basta kalmado na. So talagang hihintayin mo siyang kumalma at makikipag-usap ka sa kanya. Bibigyan mo siya ng mga salita para masabi niya kung anong kailangan niya, kung ano yung mga nararamdaman niya.
Paano po kapag may bata na hindi nagsasalita o hindi na-express yung kanilang nararamdaman? So I guess this is for smaller kids na nagtatantrums. How can we deal with that?
Okay, so again, you give the words. You teach your child to use the words. And paano siya matututo? Ikaw ang magsasabi sa kanya. So habang lumalaki yung bata, kapag may happy occasion, ang saya, no? Anong nararamdaman mo? Gusto mong tumawa? Gusto mong sumigaw? So yung kinikwento mo yung nangyayari, so naririnig ng bata, kapag ganito pala, masaya. Pwedeng sumigaw, pwedeng tumawa. So habang lumalaki yung bata, yung vocabulary niya lumalawak in terms of expressing feelings. So kapag umiiyak yung bata, hindi mo lang patatahanin, pero kakausapin mo, umiiyak ka, malungkot ka ba? O galit ka? Bakit ka malungkot? Dahil? So tanungin mo yung bata. So engage them in conversation para matutunan nila yung mga salita na pwede nilang gawin to express their feelings.
Yeah.
So ikaw muna. You don't expect the child to do it right away, pero ikaw muna. So manghuhula ka kung bakit biglang umiiyak yung bata. Lalapitan mo, oh, anong nararamdaman mo? Malungkot ka ba? Nagagalit ka ba? Bakit ka nagagalit? Alam mo naman yung kwento, di ba? Siguro kinuha nung kapatid yung laruan. Nagagalit ka ba kay kuya? Ba't ka nagagalit kay kuya? And then encourage the child to speak. Sometimes kasi, kapag umiyak na yung bata, gusto mo tumahan na. So bibigyan mo na ng ice cream, bibigyan mo na ng tubig, kukunin mo na kagad, tapos tahan na, okay na yan. Anong gusto mo? Punta tayo sa mall? Punta tayo sa tindahan? Bili tayo ng candy? Na hindi natututunan ng bata na, sandali, ito yung nararamdaman ko. Anong tawag dito? Bakit ganito yung nararamdaman ko? So, mahalaga talaga yung kwentuhan. Some people will find it corny, pero doon natututo yung bata, yung kwentuhan talaga na time you give to your child to speak, to process what he feels or what she feels, and the experience that he had and how he can appropriately express his emotions. Like kunyari, nanira ng gamit ng kuya kasi kinuha ni kuya yung laruan niya. So, very teachable moment. Oh, ano nangyari dito? Nasira yung gamit ni kuya. Ba't nasira yung gamit ni kuya? Anong nararamdaman mo? Galit ka kay kuya? O kapag galit ka kay kuya, anong pwede mong gawin? So you now teach an appropriate way to express her emotion. No? Pwede kang pumunta kay kuya at sabihin mo, kuya, galit ako sa'yo. O lumapit ka kay mommy at sabihin mo, mommy, galit ako kay kuya. Si mommy makikipag-usap kay kuya para maayos nating lahat ito. So conversations are very important because they give the child the vocabulary that he or she needs to be able to express himself or herself, which is very important, diba? Yeah. Kaya kung minsan maski sa schools, yung mga bata na tinutulak yung ibang bata, tapos magko-complain na, teacher, tinulak niya ako. Inaaway niya ako. When in fact, that little girl or that little boy just wanted to play with the other child. Pero hindi niya masabi, maglaro tayo. So, tinutulak niya.
Yeah.
Pero, so it's a teacher now who will talk to the child. Oh, bakit? Bakit mo siya tinatawag? Ba't mo siya tinatapik? And in that process, malalaman ni teacher, ay, gusto palang makipaglaro sa'yo, pero hindi niya masabi. So this will be very critical moments where parents, teachers, and adults can step in.
Super important. At saka parang ang dami nating kailangan ma-unlearn, Teacher Maros. Kasi parang when we were growing up, ganun pag umiyak, tama na, stop crying. Or kapag mag-away, stop fighting. Wala nang usap. Like you said, the importance of conversation kasi we grew up na parang stop agad, na hindi pa natin naiintindihan. And now, thankfully, with research, with studies, with advice from experts like you, alam natin na importante yung malaman nila na normal lang yung galit, pero paano nila i-handle, or normal lang na mainis sa kaklase, pero anong gagawin nila from that. This is your host, Bianca Gonzalez, and see you again in our next Talk Ed. Bye! Important talaga to extend our patience kahit mahirap. At dahil dyan, we go to our next topic, disciplining our kids naman. So, paano mo dinidisiplina ang iyong anak? A mommy na gustong magbahagi rin ng kanyang karanasan on this topic. This is Mommy Lee. Let's watch this.
Being a single mother, no, ang hirap kapag wala kang masyadong understanding kung paano lumaki yung mga bata. Syempre, mati-trigger ka agad sa pagod mo, nag-start na silang tumakbo, hindi lang tumakbo, no, mag-akit-akit kung saan-saan. And no matter how many times you say no, titingnan ka pa nila. And yung face nila, di ba yung parang nang-aasar na gagawin ko to kasi magagalit ka, ganun. Nanotice ko yun nung lumaki yung son ko. And now he's 7 years old. Ang naman namin, ang challenges namin ngayon is he's being very expressive, aka nagrarason, masyadong nagrarason. And yung assertive siya, talagang kung ito yung gusto niya, yun ang gusto niyang masusunod. If you don't have that, yung kumbaga words or yung skills kung paano mag-respond sa kanila, nakakainis naman talaga. And I feel that, ang usually nafe-feel ko is yung parang nagtatighten na yung chest ko kasi alam ko hindi ako sisigaw or hindi ako mamamalo. Okay, because I am all for gentle parenting or positive discipline, whatever you call it. Talagang lumalabas yung mga behaviors na ayoko, hindi ko gagawin yan, or I don't want it. No, mga ganon. Kunyari yung sa anak, yung anak ko, ayaw niya pang maligo, kailangan na namin mag-aral. After niya mag-aral, ako naman yung magtatrabaho. So, naisip ko, instead of making demands, like, maligo ko na kasi. Hanggang sa ilang ulit mo na siyang sinasabi at nakakayos, naririnig ka na sa sarili mo. Ang sinubukan namin ngayon is, ano ang plano mo? Kasi, after nito, mag-aral na tayo para makapagtrabaho na ako. So, when I ask him, parang nako-caught off guard siya. At nagsasabi siya, alam niya kung anong gusto niyang gawin. So, very helpful na isipin natin kung paano natin sila kakausapin. Hindi yung puro, gawin mo to, bilisan mo na, gawin mo to, ito na gagawin natin.
Yun nga ang kwento ni Mommy Lee. Meron siyang kakaibang strategy, Teacher Marose, na imbis na parang utos or itong kailangan gawin, patanong, ano ba dapat gawin? Ano ba gusto mong gawin? And what can you say about this strategy of Mommy Lee, Teacher Marose?
All right. So there is such a thing as logical consequences, which is combined with choices. Okay,
Mhm.
so the choices are they can happen. The choices, meaning to say, if you say you will leave the house, kaya mong gawin yon. Kaya you have to be very mindful of the choices, no? And this is all part of positive parenting, na you give the child the choice whether ito bang kanyang gustong gawin or hindi. Like, hindi nagligpit yung bata ng mga laruan niya. So anong logical consequence nung hindi niya pagliligpit ng laruan? One, pwedeng mawala yung laruan niya kasi di ba nakakalat lang. Pangalawa, pwedeng merong masaktan. So tatanungin mo ngayon bata, Ann, kailangan mo magligpit na ng mga laruan mo. Sasabihin niya, ayoko mami, ayoko magligpit. Sige, kapag hindi ka nagligpit at may nakaapak dyan sa laruan mo, masisira yan. Hindi mo na siya pwedeng paglaruan. So anong gusto mo? Iligpit natin yan para sa susunod na gusto mong paglaruan yung mga laruan mo, nandyan lang sila sa isang kahon? O gusto mo, pabayaan na lang natin dyan, tapos kapag may umapak, masisira yung laruan mo, wala ka na mapaglalaruan. So, di ba yung choice na iligpit ko para mapaglaruan ko, hindi ko iligpit, may aapak nga. Posibleng may umapak at masisira yung laruan niya, wala na siya mapaglalaruan. So ang pipiliin ngayon niya, sige mami, ililigpit ko na lang po yung mga laruan ko. And hindi mo pababayaan na siya lang mag-isa magligpit. Sige nga, tayong dalawa, tignan natin kung paano natin ililigpit yung laruan. So yun yung choices, di ba? Parang ang feeling ng bata, ako nag-decide nito eh. Akong pumili nito, magaling ako kasi alam ko kung anong gusto kong gawin. And more often than not, ganito yung gusto ng mga bata, di ba, na they have a say.
Yeah.
They feel that, okay, I'm important, I made a decision, and I know what I can do.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier, di ba, na, sa isip mo, napagligpit ko siya ng laruan, na walang struggle, and decision niya yun. So those things, you just have to be very creative in thinking about options. Hindi pwedeng, kapag hindi mo niligpit yan, itatago ko lahat ng laruan mo, hindi ka na pwede maglaro. Hindi naman pwede, di ba? Kasi one way or another, ilalabas mo yung mga laruan na yon at maglalaro pa rin siya. So, in the mind of the child, hindi kayang gawin ni mommy yan. Itatago niyan, pero mapaglalaroan ko pa rin yan. So, it didn't help. So, you just have to be very creative in coming up with options, choices that the child can decide on himself or herself. So, yun yung isang good thing about the choices.
Yeah, reframing and parang napaka-laking difference nung dalawang pagkakasabi nung same goal na magligpit. You mentioned the term earlier, Teacher Marose, positive parenting. So what exactly does positive parenting mean?
Okay, the premise of positive parenting is that the child is essentially good. Okay, and there is no bad child. Only children with different needs. So you catch children being good, you praise them for good behavior, and I underscore behavior. You don't say, ay, ang bait-bait mong bata. Bakit siya mabait? Sabihin mo, ay, ang galing mo magligpit ng laruan. Yay! Mapaglalaruan mo yan ulit kasi buo ang mga laruan mo. Alam mo kung saan hahanapin. Diba? It's the behavior that you praise. You show the children love, warmth, positivity, and kindness. Kasi you're modeling it eh. Paano mo sasabihin ng bata, huwag sumigaw, kung ikaw mismo parating mataas ang boses? Diba? Paano mo sasabihan ng batang huwag magdabog? Ikaw kapag nagagalit ka, nagkaklang-klang-klang yung mga plato sa kusina. Okay? So you're also encouraging and teaching children to behave the way you want them to by modeling good behavior. And you're praising children for the behavior that they do. So you catch them being good. Yung anak mo, sige, 10 beses, tinatapon niya yung tsinelas niya sa labas. There's this one time, nakita mo, na pinagtabi niya yung tsinelas niya at nilagay sa lalagyan. Batiin mo kagad yun. Huwag mong palalagpasin yun. Ay, ang galing naman ni Ana, marunong ka palang magtabi ng tsinelas mo. So sa susunod na kailangan mo yung tsinelas mo, alam mo kung saan siya hahanapin. Diba? So it's really even stating your rules in a positive way. So hindi pwede yung huwag kang sisigaw, tahimik ka lang, o huwag kang tatakbo. Instead of saying huwag kang sisigaw, we use our speaking voice, ha?
Mm-hmm.
Or imbis na sabihin mong huwag kang tatakbo, let's use our walking feet. So you're stating your rules in a positive way, and this has a better effect on children than saying huwag kang tatakbo. Kasi there are researches that say hindi nila naririnig yung no. Hindi nila naririnig yung wag. Ang naririnig nila, tumakbo ka. So, and you're not teaching the child what you want the child to do. So state it in a way that the child will understand, what do you want? What do you want me to do? Okay, use quiet feet because daddy's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Pack away your toys. This is how you pack away your toys. Okay, so you tell the child what to do and show the child how it is supposed to be done. So there are different ways that you're able to establish rules and relate with your child in a positive way. And that's what we want, diba? That's how we want to raise our children. Yung masaya sila, hindi sila yung bugnutin. Of course, kapag bugnutin, we acknowledge, you're not feeling well today. And that's okay.
Yeah. That's so powerful. Parang it's all same goal pero maliit na reframe lang ang laking nagagawa at nagiging positive parenting na. So what are the common parenting mistakes or things that we should at least try to avoid when it comes to disciplining our kids?
Okay, most common parent mistakes is you take away their toys or their gadgets, diba? Sabi mo, ay nako, hindi ka sumunod, hindi ka gumawa ng homework, hindi ka maglalaro ng iPad. Or favorite niya, alam mo yung car. Ay, nako, hindi ka sumunod kay mommy. Nung lumabas tayo sa grocery, nag-iiyak ka, tatago ko yung kotse mo. Okay, what does that do? It just focuses on the loss of the toy. So the child doesn't see the connection na sandali, I misbehaved. Kaya kinuha ni daddy yung iPad ko. Hindi ko sinunod si mommy, kaya tinago niya yung favorite doll ko. Ang nakikita lang niya, kinuha ni mommy yung doll ko. Tinago ni daddy yung iPad ko. So, ang focus, mas nandun sa kinuha. So, hindi niya alam, okay, so what will I do? If there's something that I do, they're going to get my toy or they're going to keep this. And hindi na naging focus yung unacceptable behavior. Ang naging focus na lang ng bata, kinuha mo yung toy ko. Diba? So, in terms of trust, nagkaroon ng konting question sa trust na, so, if I am not behaving, you're going to take away the things that I enjoy. You're going to take away the things that I love playing with. So may question na gano'n. At saka hindi ito yung logical consequence to the behavior, di ba? Na hindi siya sumunod sa utos mo. Ay, tatago ko yung gadget mo. Anong kinalaman ng gadget dun sa inutos mo na hindi sinunod na bata? So, one thing that you can do in these instances would be the logical consequence again. Sige, hindi mo ginawa yung homework mo. Pagpasok mo bukas, anong mangyayari? Hindi mo masasagot yung mga tanong ni teacher. Diba? That's a logical consequence. So, anong gusto mo? Pumasok ka bukas na hindi ka makasagot kay teacher? Or gusto mo makakasagot ka na kasama mo yung mga classmates mo na gumagawa ng activity? And of course, a child will always choose, oh, I want to have fun with my classmates. I want to do the activity the teacher prepared for us. So he's going to do his activity or his homework.
Yeah.
So yun, yung taking away toys. Yung time out or stand in the corner, kung titignan mo yan, may specific time that you can do time out or stand in the corner. 1 minute. Hindi yan sumusobra, ha? So depende sa age yung time na pwede mong i-time out. And the max that I saw was a minute for a 5-year-old child. So, gano'n na lang magagawa ng stand in the corner, di ba? Hindi mo tinuturuan ng bata ng appropriate skills of communicating with you. Bakit ba nagkaganito, di ba? Earlier, we said, important ang conversations eh. Coming down, yung galit ako eh. Galit ako. Gano'n na lang yun. Sige, stand in the corner. Anong nagawa nun? Hindi niya na-process yung nararamdaman niya. Nagalit ako. Paano ko sasabihin sa'yo? Nagalit ako. Ano pa? Conflict management. Kunyari, nakipag-away sa kapatid, no? Ay, kayong dalawa. Ikaw doon ka sa kabilang kwarto. Ikaw doon sa kabilang kwarto. Hindi mo naturuan ng conflict management. Whereas, sige, kalmado muna. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Are you feeling better? Let's talk about it. Anong nangyari? Diba? And you listen to them and help them solve things themselves, which is another skill, diba? Really talking it out and listening to each other, listening to reason. So what would be better? Stay with your child. Again, calm them down and talk it out. Redirect yung the attention from kung ano talaga yung gusto. So that's one thing. Corporal punishment, namamalo. Marami pa rin namang namamalo ngayon. And kasi lumaki tayo sa ganon paraan. No?
Hanger, Jaryo, yan.
Ako napapalo ako ng sapatos ng tatay ko nung malita ko eh. And this was acceptable. But now we know that's a no-no. Child abuse yan, di ba? No matter how small. But they say, pero that's the way that's going to count. Kumbaga, ito yung effective sa anak ko. The question is, have you tried other ways? How can you say that this was the effective thing to do? And bakit susunod ang bata sa'yo? Kasi nahihiya, natatakot, nasasaktan. And these are not valid reasons for a child to follow you, no? It also teaches children na hurting others is okay. Kapag may sinabi akong hindi tama, tatampalin ako ni mommy sa bibig. Okay lang yun. Kaya yung kaklase ko, and that's what you usually see in preschools, no? When children do things to other children, it's because they were exposed to this at home. Kumbaga, nakita nila somewhere sa bahay na, oh, this is acceptable behavior. So the parent now is seen as a judge. The parent is not empathic to what the child feels. And that's very important with relationships, no? That you understand each other. So again, talk things out, discuss issues, and in a private place. Hindi yung nakaharap lahat kayong pamilya or nakaharap yung mga kalaro niya tapos sisigawan mo doon. Kakausapin mo. Remember, respect is very crucial. You want them to respect you, so you respect them as young children. Take them aside. Again, kapag masyado pang mataas ang energy, let the child calm down. It helps also for you to calm down kapag ganun, di ba? Sabay kayong kakalma. It helps to do breathing or to count from 10 to 1 para mas concrete yung pagbaba ng energy, and then be calm, talk about it. Okay, rewards and bribes na, sige, kapag ginawa mo to, bibilang kita ng candy, or kapag mataas ang grade mo, meron kang prize. So think again, we want to have children who find motivation intrinsically. Yung sila mismo are striving, because if I strive to do my best, I will become better. Diba? Yeah. You're not even competing against anyone but yourself. Na if I do my best, I know I will be able to read. If I do my best, I will be able to color really well, and I'll be very happy with what I do.
Oh, thank you so much, Teacher Marose, for all that you do as well, at sa lahat ng mga teachers. Always, saludo kami sa inyo. Maraming salamat for joining us, Teacher Marose, at sa lahat ng mga Teacher Marose fans na nakatuto ngayon, sa lahat ng mga teachers ni Teacher Marose. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, Teacher Marose said, spend time to talk to your child. You can give them simple responsibilities at home. Model the behavior that you want them to see. And idadagdag na lang din natin yung allowing our children to be active, to play, have fun, and make choices on their own. This is your host, Bianca Gonzalez, and see you again in our next Talk Ed. Bye!